Hey, so wanted to let you know your application was officially filed in full. That doesn't mean the work is done. There's going to be reports demanded and everything else, which I think we've discussed. Otherwise, if not, we will. Anyway, here's what you have to do next. 95% of the time, a claimant with representation is going to receive a printout of some of the information in the application. It's the SSA sending it to them by mail with a return envelope. What they're going to want you to do, they might have a few extra documents in there to sign, but the big part about it is that sign those, even though we've already given them to them. They kind of mix up their left and the right hand. But what you want to do is go through their printout. If there's anything inaccurate, there's going to be some things in there that they don't even ask when we do the application, but they kind of throw an answer in there. I guess because it's usually correct, but if it's wrong, you're gonna want to catch it. And if you have any changes to make, you make it in pen on the paper and you initial it. Now, one thing you're going to notice, it might say that you have no kids, even if you have adult kids, none of which are disabled before the age of 22. You don't have to change that because none of those kids would be eligible. So you don't have any eligible kids. And that's what those questions were designed to cover. If you do have minor children or you do have a child who is disabled before the age of 22, you will want to change that. But that would be rare. I don't think that's ever come out of this office like that. So I just wanted to cover it just in case. The other thing is it'll say no bank account. We don't ask for your bank account information for a few different reasons. You are free to put it in there if you want. The reason why we don't, I don't want to hold anybody's bank information, but also so many times in general, and this may not apply to you, the bank account that someone has now may not be a good one later. It could be that without working, they start to get some creditor problems, and then there are concerns about liens on the account. So if there are liens on the account, even though there are rules that are supposed to protect accounts from being levied or frozen for commercial debts, whether or not the bank steps in and recognizes that all funds in there are Social Security or whatever later is a different story. So I just prefer to stay out of it. It could take, no offense, but it could take, as you know, some people go years before they win. So remember, this is a general announcement to all my clients. You might not have the same bank account in 2 years. Maybe you will have closed it because you moved 4 states away. Aside from the fact that times could get tough for some people. So for that reason, I leave it blank. And SSA wants to see something in there. However, it's not required because for those that never get a bank account, they'll have a debit card when they win. Now, what I do with my people who do want a bank account and want direct deposit, when we get wind of a win, whether it's shortly before the win or right after, you want to call, and I usually nudge people if I'm aware, call the SSA, your field office, and say, I want to give my banking information. Generally, they'll take it, particularly if they see that you've won. And then you can give your bank information at that time. I have heard a couple of people say, oh, they wouldn't take my bank information because it hasn't officially been won yet. I'm like, which is funny because they asked for it from you 2 years ago. Now suddenly they won't take it. So, that's just a clerk giving misinformation, but that's kind of common. So anyway, those are the big things. So now when you have your initialed printout that they sent you and a couple other things they want you to sign, which is okay to sign, you're going to make a copy and upload or fax me a copy of the completed stuff. And you do this before you do anything else, right? And then you're going to take it and you're going to mail it certified return receipt requested to the address the SSA said for you to send it to. Certified return receipt is not just sending it certified where you have a little tiny white piece of paper with dark green trim and a tracking number. it is where you have that, plus you pay a little bit extra for a light green postcard that goes with it. And the post office people can help you put that on your package. What that's going to do is, yes, you have proof you sent it with that white and darker green little receipts, or certification, mailing it by certified. It's not really a receipt. But the green card is a thing that's going to be proving that someone signed for it and received it and sent it back. And the green card gets sent back to you as proof that they received it. Because there's one thing to send it to them. It's another thing to know that they received it, because they lose a lot of stuff. And the post office might not be, up to par either. So the green card back to you is an extra insurance that if they say they never got it and 5 months go by and we're saying, yes, it was sent, we have this and we can fight with this. And the important thing of that is, it's not that we might not have to send it again. We might have to if they lost it, but we'll be able to prove that you got that final application requirement in when you did, because otherwise, if you didn't, now you have a new application date of filing, which is many months later. And if you were looking at back benefits, you just shaved all those back benefits off, because oftentimes they always are limited by your application date. So the more recent your application date, the worse it is. So you want to keep that old one that we secured. Okay. And so then fax me or upload to the portal, preferably a copy of the little white thing that they let you go home with. They stamp it, the post office. You're also going to have probably a receipt where you paid. You could send both. Certainly the green one, white and green one. And then when you get the green card, obviously keep it safe. You should have a box of Social Security stuff that you just keep together if you're not a great filer. And you're going to upload a copy of the light green card. That way we keep it on file. So if we have to go to battle, we have the evidence we need to get a little uppity. Okay. All right. So that's what's going to happen next. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.